Hello, thank you so much for joining us here on News 8. I'm Netta Irampour, and we are working for you. We're listening to your concerns. We look into any of your questions and want to find solutions that make a difference here in our community of San Diego that we love so much. So we do want to begin with another possible rate hike for your monthly power bill. This is a heads up here. SDG&E recently filed a request to raise rates by more than 8.5%. The utility company is calling this a focused plan that maintains reliable service while also addressing rising costs. But many customers and consumer advocates are fiercely opposed to this. News 8's Richard Allen working for you, breaking down those numbers and shows where this fight goes from here.
8%, that's a lot. Oh, God, I think it'll be cruel.
Increasing is acceptable, but 8%, no, like 2-3%, yes, but 8%, that's a lot. To me, that's a lot.
In this latest rate request, SDG&E is asking for a revenue requirement of roughly $3.8 billion for 2028, which breaks down to $2.9 billion for electric operations and $900 million for natural gas. If approved, that would translate to a year-over-year increase of about $14 for the average electric bill and $8.45 for the average gas bill.
We pay enough. We pay too much already, way too much.
In a statement, SDG&E said they understand that any increase in energy bills can be challenging for our customers, especially as many household costs continue to rise. SDG&E's 2028 rate request reflects a focused plan to manage costs responsibly while maintaining safe and reliable service, adding that part of the increase would cover rising costs outside of the utility's control, like insurance, healthcare, and cybersecurity.
UCAN will be filing a protest along with many other interveners.
Ed Lopez is executive director of UCAN, the Utility Consumers Action Network, which plans to fight the proposed rate increase.
It is getting out of hand.
Pointing out that over the past decade, SDG&E's average rates have nearly doubled. SDG&E says that this most recent request reflects continued efforts to improve efficiency and streamline operations, while making targeted investments in the infrastructure and systems our customers depend on every day. Lopez says that UCAN is calling out those expenditures.
This is adding to the burden. This is adding to the profitability that SDG&E gets. And yet this is found to be reasonable and acceptable by the commission. It's enough is enough.
While directly opposing SDG&E's rate request, Lopez also says UCAN is focusing on the California Public Utilities Commission itself, which will make the final decision.
Commission itself just needs to do its basic job. Think about Californians. Think about the customers and consumers first.
And that was Richard Allen reporting. Now let's talk about overnight parking restrictions. They could soon be coming to dozens of coastal parking lots throughout the city of San Diego. The rules may change. California Coastal Commission has unanimously approved a new plan by the city. These proposed parking changes would affect overnight parking at all 35 coastal lots. This goes from La Jolla to Ocean Beach and all in between. City leaders say these revised restrictions would not only help reduce crime in certain areas, but also discourage overnight parking by people who are living out of their cars.
Other areas that they would be safer, and also by not having them here staying the night and bringing crime around, I think it would be a safer environment for this area.
While the Coastal Commission approved unanimously, the city still has 45 days to finalize their planned changes and then submit them to the Coastal Commission. A new study is drawing attention to California's biggest earthquake threat. Researchers at the University of Hawaii say the San Andreas Fault could be under exceptionally high levels of tectonic stress, possibly the highest in 1,000 years. News 8's Brian White working for you and speaks with a local expert about these findings.
The geologist I spoke with says this study helps researchers better understand the stress that may be building along the San Andreas Fault, but it does not change one thing. No one can predict when the next major earthquake will hit. 1,000 years of earthquake history fed into a new computer model. Researchers at the University of Hawaii used geologic and seismic data to estimate how much stress has built up along the San Andreas and San Jacinto fault systems. They found stress levels may now be at or even above anything seen in 1,000 years.
They're taking all these existing old information, converting a lot of that stuff, adding geophysical information to try to make it into an energy analysis. How much strain energy, what stresses are there, what is waiting to be released? And then the numbers come out, well, shall I say disappointingly high?
The study suggests a future earthquake could involve both the San Andreas and San Jacinto faults, creating a larger event than a single fault earthquake. Dr. Pat Abbott, professor emeritus of geology at SDSU, says that possibility reminds him of what happened in Turkey in 2023, when two major quakes struck along parallel faults just hours apart.
We've long been waiting for, quote, the big one on the San Andreas. And now we see here that it might be even bigger than we thought.
But Dr. Abbott stresses this is not a prediction. Scientists still cannot say when or how that stored energy will be released. He says the biggest risks often come from what happens inside our homes and offices, like falling furniture, unsecured objects, and older structures.
The biggest problem from the earthquake is not the ground shaking. It's our buildings, our possessions falling on top of us. And so the best thing to do with this kind of knowledge is to prepare yourself.
Dr. Abbott says the fear of an earthquake should not interfere with our day-to-day lives, but he says take a look around our homes, our office, and look for things that are unsecured up high that could fall on us in the event of an earthquake so that we can be prepared. I'm Brian White, News 8.
Yeah, get those hooks for your cabinets. Check out, Home Depot hardware stores to try to hook those into the wall so they don't fall. Now, the city of San Diego looking to reduce the strong odor that's caused by animal waste at the Jolla Cove. We've all smelt it, right? Officials applied for a coastal development permit, and that's to spray a bioactive odor counteractant on these affected areas.
The impact, I feel, has to be a lot more looked into because this is a public beach. Like, there's wildlife here, there's humans here that use it every day, and if all of a sudden all this bacteria goes into the water, there could be health implications that I feel like could impact everybody, not just the wildlife.
Now, city officials do say the product is designed to target odors, not the wildlife. They describe it as a water-based mixture of bacteria commonly found in cleaning products. The city is now seeking the approvals needed before any treatment can move forward. Still ahead here, an update on a working for you story that we've been following. We're going to show you what will take the place of this former popular restaurant in San Carlos. Plus, are you ready for a record-breaking El Niño? We're speaking with experts about the impact this might have on San Diego. Welcome back. We are working for you here, and we've been tracking this project in San Carlos that's turning the former home of a popular Italian restaurant into affordable housing. Really going to change the spot. We first brought you this story when viewers reached out asking what's going on with the abandoned building, the Nicolosi's Italian restaurant, what it used to be. News 8's Jenny Day shares the details.
Corner of Jackson Drive and Navajo Road here used to mean one thing for people in this neighborhood, Nicolosi's. Then the restaurant moved, the building sat empty. Now tonight, that's all changing. Nicolosi's, a family favorite for years, will now be Navajo Family Apartments.
We understand that housing is the biggest issue in this country, and we are taking action, not talk, action to do something about it.
The site in San Carlos will provide affordable housing, 4 stories, 45 units, 58 parking spots, and 1 community building with a kitchen, computer lab, and play area. County Supervisor Joel Anderson also says this location gives residents something just as important as a roof.
This was my hood, and I went to Patrick Henry.
Good schools, jobs, transportation, and parks all nearby that support success.
I know that when families are worried about keeping a roof over their heads, everything else becomes more difficult.
With the cost of housing at an all-time high, Community Housing Works says these 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartments will be for those earning 30 to 70% of the area median income.
And what that means is for a family of 4, you'll have people living here that earn approximately $52,000 a year to $122,000 a year.
To put that in perspective, the average 2-bedroom in San Diego is around $3,000 a month. Here at the Navajo Family Apartments, depending on your income, that same 2-bedroom could rent for between $1,000 and $2,600 a month if on the market today.
When we say low and middle income families, we're talking about people who are new in their careers, who've just graduated from college.
Out of the 45 units, 8 will be reserved for people with intellectual or developmental disabilities. They have partnered with the San Diego Regional Center to provide supportive services. All residents will have access to financial well-being programs as well as health and wellness.
Give them the best chance to really expand and grow and truly thrive in their lives.
You're doing more than just building housing, building structures, you're building lives and communities.
Construction on this project started about 6 months ago, and if all goes according to plan, people can move in May of 2027. I'm told you can submit an application this November. In San Carlos, Jenny Day, News 8.
At least now we know what's coming there, right? Thank you, Jenny. And now El Niño is officially here, and this one could set records. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, known as NOAA, has officially confirmed that this natural warming cycle has now formed in the Pacific. News 8's Richard Allen explains the impacts we could see right here in Southern California and how soon we might experience them.
So now the biggest question is what the magnitude of El Niño is going to be by the time we get into fall into winter.
An El Niño is a weather and climate phenomenon that starts with a warming of the Pacific Ocean near the equator.
And that usually propagates and changes the weather downstream all the way into North America and throughout much of the world.
Sebastian Westerink, a meteorologist at the National Weather Service here in San Diego, says that here in Southern California, under El Niño conditions, we could see above average precipitation, meaning we could be in for a very wet winter here. But he also cautions that this is not a guarantee of an intense rainy season, pointing out the 2015-16 El Niño, which was a very strong one that turned out to be a relatively dry winter here in San Diego.
So that's why I say you can't necessarily use it as a foolproof predictor. It significantly increases the odds that we do have above average rainfall here in Southern California.
Westering points out that in any given year, we can also get those atmospheric rivers we hear so much about, which are usually our most impactful storms. During this El Niño season, we don't know if there will be a greater than usual number of atmospheric rivers, but if there is, their impacts could be felt more intensely.
We do tend to see more impacts as a result of just more rainfall in general. The soils are going to be more saturated, and so then more ready to go for landslides and debris flows and things of that nature.
Many scientists say that this El Niño could compare with the record season back in 1997.
The sea surface temperatures very well could exceed those of 1997, 1998 El Niño. Same thing with the 82, 83 El Niño.
And while the actual impacts can't be predicted, Westerink stresses that it is critical to be prepared for any sort of weather emergency.
If you need a to-go bag because there might be evacuations or anything of that nature. So it's always good to be prepared, but especially in this time, definitely a good time to start if you haven't already.
And that, again, Richard Allen reporting on this. The biggest impacts here in Southern California could arrive between January and March, the heart of our rainy season. But forecasters say we could start feeling the effects even as early as October. It's something, of course, our News 8 meteorologists will all be following. Coming up next, there is a new effort to reduce traffic without adding lanes. We're going to show you California's first smart freeway and how it's working to keep cars moving. Welcome back. From smart cars to smart homes to smartphones. California now has its very first smart freeway. So what's this like? This high-tech pilot project is now live on a stretch of the 15 going through Temecula. It has one goal in mind: reducing traffic without adding lanes. Here's News 8's Vanessa Paz working for you to explain how this works.
If you've ever crawled through traffic in Temecula on the 15, you know the frustration.
Southwest Riverside County has been growing tremendously over the last few years and decades. And we've seen that there is a lot of congestion building up on the northbound 15, specifically in the afternoons as people are coming back from work or as people are getting off from school.
Well, now transportation officials hope to ease some of that congestion with technology that's designed to keep traffic moving instead of slowing down.
We're very excited about the Smart Freeway pilot project and the concept. It's no longer a concept, it's a it's real.
Ariel Alcon is with the Riverside County Transportation Commission, the agency that launched California's first ever freeway system. So here's how it works. Road sensors are on an 8-mile stretch of the 15's on-ramps between the San Diego County line and the 215 interchange in Murrieta. Those sensors communicate with each other to assess real-time traffic, regulate how many cars enter the freeway, and display recommended speeds on digital message boards.
We wanted to look for a solution to this traffic congestion, and it's hard to build our way out of congestion. Building lanes on the highway system is very expensive and cost prohibitive, but also regulatory prohibitive at times.
This technology originated in Australia, and the first U.S. version was implemented in Denver, where transportation officials say it improved traffic flow. Here in Temecula, although drivers may now notice a longer wait time to get onto the freeway,
we anticipate that their drive will be shorter, or they'll have a shorter drive through their destination.
RCTC says drivers will be able to track the project's results through an online dashboard showing traffic speeds and traffic flow by the end of the year.
This could be the future. I mean, we're testing the system out, so we are looking at ways to maybe adjust it or make even better.
In Temecula, Vanessa Paz, News 8.
And over the next 2 years, officials will collect that data and determine whether smart freeways can deliver shorter commutes and fewer traffic backups. Let's hope so, right, for all the drivers out there. Coming up here, a trip to the county fair does not have to break the bank. We're going to show you how to save money and still have fun. Welcome back. It's getting tougher now for people looking to buy their first home. A new Zillow report shows the number of U.S. cities with million-dollar starter homes now reaching a record 242 cities. That's across 26 states. That actually tripled in just a few years. Zillow defines a starter home as any home in the bottom third of values for its market, not a specific size or type of house. So the bottom of the prices. 5 of those cities on the list would be here in San Diego County. Coronado, Solana Beach, and Encinitas all have starter homes more than $1 million. In Del Mar, that number is past $2 million, while Rancho Santa Fe is approaching $3 million. Wow. The San Diego County Fair is well underway, and for many, the event, it's a summertime staple, right? It's what you do every year. But from the food to the rides, the expenses can add up. News 8's Jenny Day working for your wallet and shows us how to have fun at the fair without breaking your budget.
We are coming to you from the Ferris wheel. I love the fair, so let's first talk admission. If you buy your ticket at the door, it could cost you up to $25 depending on what day you come, but if you purchase in advance, only $16.50. So with our help, you can enjoy some family time without breaking the bank.
You see people coming in, faces smiling, and leaving with their faces smiling.
The fried food, farm animals, and Ferris wheels. The San Diego County Fair is here.
It's a tradition. It's a tradition.
The better you do, the more chances you get.
Now through the 5th of July, it's open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., closed on Mondays and Tuesdays.
If you just plan ahead a little bit, you can save a lot of money.
Working for you, we want to get you on alien abduction, my personal favorite, also into an exhibit hall, petting a sheep, eating a turkey leg, and attending a show, all on a budget.
Various bands, entertainers, magicians, jugglers, the local art, the photography, the wood carvings, the gems and minerals.
Again, admission for an adult at the door is between $20 and $25. Kids Kids are between 17 and 22. But buying in advance at Vaughn's, Albertsons, or Pavilions provides a discount.
You could save $5 or more on admission just by buying online on our website before you come.
Kids 12 and under are free on Fridays. Then something called Fair Tripper combines admission and a round-trip ticket on MTS or North County Transit. If you drive, park at Torrey Pines High School. There's a free shuttle from there.
On Friday, we'll actually have a discounted one for Juneteenth, $19.
If rides are your or your kids' priority, Wednesdays and Thursdays for one flat price offer unlimited rides from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. The wristband will cost you $55.
We call it Game on Fridays as our promotion, so you can play any carnival game for 4 credits between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m.
If you go to the fair for food, go on Foodie Fridays. The top 18 from the Fairtastic food competition will offer their award-winning dishes for half off from 11 to 4. The Churro Dog took the top spot this year.
We do have $15 value meals every single day.
There are also discounts for members of our military, firefighters, and law enforcement. And I do want to mention that concerts at the grandstand do require a separate ticket. Brett Michaels is performing tonight. Working for you on the top of the Ferris wheel in Del Mar, Jenny Day, News 8.
And if you ever want us to look into anything, go ahead and email us right here, workingforyou@cbs8.com. Have a great day.